And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello distance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The month of May ended with a terrible pre-monsoon storm, during which the level of the drains and the latrines rose by almost 2 feet in one night. The corpses of dogs, rats, scorpions, and thousands of cockroaches began to float around in the foul sludge. People even saw several goats and a buffalo drifting through the alleyways with bellies inflated like balloons. The storm activated another unforeseen phenomenon. Millions of flies hatched out. Naturally, the floodwater invaded most of the hovels, transforming them into cesspools.
Bovine. Bovine is an adjective from the word cow. From cow, the word bovine has come. Our people, by and large, if you try to visualize it from a distance, sort of try to take a perspective view of the Indian populace, it does look like a bovinized population. Bovine, they do not think on their own. They just behave like a dumb-driven cattle. Whatever the media say, they accept it without questioning and all that. That is a very dangerous thing, because if we really want to have the benefits of a democracy, democracy means a sort of independent thinking should be there. Questions should be asked. Nothing should be accepted without any question and all that. But that attitude is completely lacking in this country.
This is Calcutta, savage, desperate and ugly, foodless and dying, the ultimate hellhole.
Myself, Biru Kormokar, your most obedient servant. Very, very ordinary man, sir. So ordinary that in Calcutta crowd, I am invisible. But on any road, throw a stone from anywhere, it will always fall on my head. I live in Mofussil, take a crowded local train to Calcutta and do a very ordinary job.
Calcutta is not a city for the eye, it is a city for the mind. Now people who come here for a very short period get absolutely shocked, intimidated or scandalized by what they see. No matter how much development is made, but you have got a parallel kind of picture of poverty which is going side by side, and therefore that image still retains in some way or the other.
when I first went to England as a student, it's exactly 50 years ago, people would say, oh, Calcutta, the black hole of Calcutta. Now they say Calcutta, Mother Teresa. I don't know which is more negative, but these are the two word associations of this city.
The phrase gutters of Calcutta is almost routinely used in place of Calcutta. As I always say, the city has become a metaphor. It's is no longer a city. It's a metaphor, and thanks to Mother Teresa and thanks to us who have allowed this to happen.
The people of Calcutta are not aware very much about the image that the city exudes to the people in the world at large. Mother Teresa, the great saint of the gutters, the world famous saint of the gutters, has made Calcutta her place where she has come like a redeeming angel, to save the world. And the common thing is, even in journalism, for example, when you have reportage about third world, especially like Calcutta or some place like Brazil, for example, it is always a Western person, a saving angel who comes here. Or to do something for the people who are downtrodden, and it is focused in that way.
I am, sir, a simple Bengali. My father was also a simple Bengali from Calcutta. To escape crowd, he built a house in this Mofussil. But Calcutta is my birthplace. Sorry, Kolkata.
Calcutta. This is a Kolkata, Calcutta. This is a Kolkata, Calcutta.
Kolkata.
Calcutta is going down.
Up, down, Calcutta, Kolkata. Nobody is sure. Anyway, what does it matter? Whatever it is my city. In my ordinary life, the only extraordinary is my friend. Dada, you can say, elder brother, advisor, friend, philosopher and guide. When I get time, I go to him. From me he stays 2 stations further, in Latbagan, where all old British rulers are staying. His name is George, 5th George. You are correct, sir. He was the Emperor of India. He loves Calcutta.
Your city must always remain the premier city of India. Its population, its importance as a commercial center and great emporium of trade, its splendid historical traditions, all continue to invest Calcutta with a unique character which should preserve it to a preeminent position.
I sit under his feet and learn many things, but he will only whisper. So you have to keep ears sharp. What he says, I copy into my special diary. He only told me, unless you are a sahib or a foreigner, you cannot be a big statue in India. A native cannot be great in statue. Other day, looking for a native statue, I went to Five Head Crossing to see Netaji statue. Why did my fifth George Sahib insist that native statue can never be great? Amazing case. I went and what I saw, sir, George Sahib was correct. I found no greatness in Sambhajan Netaji. What I truly found was, what shall I say, the disproportionately large ye of his horse. Same. How can he be great? Suddenly I remember the Karl Marx head in Salt Lake. He is communist. So what? He is also Sahib. I went to see him. Truly, most amazing case. There was greatness. Magnificent. Beside that, red shirt boys playing football. Notice the symbolic red color, sir. My friend George Sahib was right. Football and Karl Marx loving Bengalis roar like lion. Sometimes 5th George Sahib comes to Calcutta with me. When I walk on the streets, he follows me. He also talks then. sometimes. Like the day I went for Mohamichil, I mean the mega procession. Judge Sahib whispered, but noise was too much. Carefully I listened. He asked,
What are you natives fighting for?
I said, for Chile, for Peru, for Cambodia, for San Salvador, for Cuba, for Venezuela.
Where are all these?
I said, truly, to tell you frankly, I don't know. I understood what he meant. We are always shouting for something that we don't need, but we keep silent for things we do need. The procession was going from nowhere to nowhere. Just think, sir. We march from nowhere to nowhere.
I spent a whole year in New York in 1971. And one day I found a full-page story about Calcutta in this well-known newspaper. And the headline was, "The Nightmarish City of Calcutta." And the substance of the whole article was that with people half dead or in great distress are lying all about the city. And the local government, local people are indifferent to this scene. And Mother Teresa is the only person with many of her assistants to render shelter and medical service to these people.
Mama, oh ma, oh ma, ma, oh ma, mama, oh ma, oh mama, oh ma, oh ma.
Media persons who have tried to cover the Mother Teresa story in an uncritical way. I have a major problem with those people, particularly those people from the West who would pick up issues. If I were to go and pray before some god in Kali Ghat, they have a smile on their face. He is a superstitious Hindu or an Indian, and they would go and run after Mother Teresa's trinkets. You know the trinkets she would distribute, and she would say, "Bless you, my son," and all those nonsense. These people, I've seen very senior people from the Western media going and picking up those trinkets and, sort of doing. She was in the business of expanding the kingdom of God. This is something we should get it right. She was an evangelist first and foremost. She was in the business of conversion.
Well, anyway, there's a lady around. I call her the Great White Whore. Translated to Bengali is Shetango Christian Khanki.
Well, I asked her a very innocent question. It wasn't meant to be any kind of a trap. I said, what's the difference between you and so many other social workers, Ramakrishna Mission and other Muslim, Christian, non-religious organizations? And she said, "I'm not a social worker. I'm not a social worker." So I said, what are you then? She said, "I'm a servant of God. I do this because our Lord God said, serve the poor for your own salvation." So I said, "Then you're doing it for yourself, not for the effect." she said, quite right, I'm doing it for myself, for my salvation.
The deep impression that when she talked about God, it had an effect on the people. Not due to her, but it's as if God himself manifested himself to the people.
She was an extremely motivated politician, I would say, and her brief was to propagate the belief systems and the values and ideals of the Vatican, of this current Vatican especially, which has a very extreme position on contraception and abortion.
Mother Teresa chilo, Mother Teresa chilo.
Margaret was a prominent journalist in both print media and the television throughout much of the 20th century. He was an ultra-orthodox, extremely right-wing person who campaigned against contraception and abortion all his life.
1930s, Margaret lived in Calcutta. 1931, 32, 33, he was an assistant editor on The Statesman, and he lived upstairs. We've talked about it quite a lot, about his period here. He hated Calcutta.
He firmly believed that white Christian superiority should rule over the dark races, and he was looking for a white Christian person, Catholic person, who would be seen to look after helpless black or brown people. And when he discovered Mother Teresa, with her values on contraception and abortion, he was pretty much overjoyed that he could promote this woman to the world as the embodiment of his own belief system. It's quite frightening that they were so close to such a hypocrite and quite a brute actually, because Malcolm Muggeridge was not only a racist, he was very anti-Semitic.
Muggeridge was a reformed rake. In his books, in his memoirs, he writes quite a lot about his life in India and his affairs, his sexual affairs, who his mistresses were, he names them. But in old age, he got religion.
I think before Muggeridge, she genuinely did not want to go into the whole PR circus that kind of enveloped her later on in life, and she discovered it a bit later on in the 1970s that how people were falling at her feet, and she manipulated everybody. She manipulated Indians. I mean, obviously Indians are suckers for white skin, and anybody would do anything for her just because she was kind of white and she had access to many more white people. And the West she had also a very ready audience and very kind of credulous audience in the West who would believe anything she would say. And she routinely said things like, I feed 9,000 people in Calcutta every day. I go out in the night, all through the night I go out in Calcutta picking up people from the streets. The streets of Calcutta are nothing but gutters.
Pick up people from the street and bring them there.
This ambulance, they pick up the dying and the dead from the street. Feeders everywhere, huh? Flying by the heat. Kolkata, Kata, Gada, Queen of the Gada. The sisters, they pick up the dying and the dead from the street. Kolkata, Kata, Gada, Queen of the Gada.
No, I don't speak Bengali.
I told you, sir, I am ordinary man. Like other ordinary man, I read Gonoshakti. End of the month, I read on station platform for free. Beginning of the month, I buy personal copy. Suddenly I read, they were putting a statue of Mother Teresa. This time I decided I will follow this from beginning. After all, Mother Teresa was a Memsahib. She stayed in my city.
She takes them by the hand, something of a man, takes away the hatred first and takes away the pain. She doesn't offer money, just homemade bread and honey, and the fear slowly disappears and love returns again, returns again. Oh, the city, dirty city, all the dust and filth and hunger and disease, like the darkness of a tunnel, like a nightmare in a never-ending sleep. She keeps on walking, a Don Quixote, in a painting by Picasso, and you weep. Oh, mother, my sweet mother.
Bengalis have this tradition of mother worship, you know, Durga, Kali, Saraswati. So this mother worship is ingrained in us. We have masculine gods, but mainly female gods. And we want to adulate or adore something feminine principle. So that is the reason we are seeking for a mother goddess, and she is the nearest substitute. We couldn't get anyone black.
We, the Bengalis or the Kolkatans, I don't know why we are worshipping Teresa, knowing fully well that this lady has sold our property. She has definitely, what should I say, she has made business, organizational business out of our problems, and at the end of the day, we didn't get anything except bad publicity.
Oh, the city, dirty city, all the dust and filth and hunger and disease.
মাদার টেরেসার পোর্ট্রেটের মধ্যে একটা মানে হাসলে পরে একটু পুরুষালী ব্যাপার চলে আসে, তো সেই ব্যাপারটা অ্যাভয়েড করে, কারণ উনি তো নারী ছিলেন, আফটার অল মা ছিলেন, তো সেখান থেকে সেই ব্যাপারটা মনে হয় আমি অ্যাভয়েড করতে পেরেছি। একটা পবিত্র মুখ, সেটা কতখানি পবিত্র হয়ে উঠলো। এখানে মাদার টেরেসার মুখে কতগুলো ভাঁজ ছিল সেটা ফিলিংসের মধ্যে পড়ে না। ফিলিংসের মধ্যে পড়ে যে উনি যে হাসছেন বা এই করজোরে একটা ওয়েলকাম জানাচ্ছেন, সেখান থেকে কতটুকু আমি মানে এক্সপ্রেশনটা দিতে পারছি সেটার উপর ডিপেন্ড করছে। সেখানে চোখে কটা ভাঁজ আছে বা মানে মুখে কটা ভাঁজ আছে সেটা মানে ডিপেন্ড করে না, বা এটা আমার উদ্দেশ্য নয়। আমার উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে টোটাল একটা ফিলিংস, একটা মাতৃমুখ। মা কোথায়? মা কোথায়? হ্যালো, আমি বলছি কি বিল্টু আছে? বিল্টু কি বাড়ি গেছে নাকি? আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, তাহলে পাঠাবো, সত্যি একটু দেরি হবে। না কাজে গেছেন, এখানে মাদার টেরেসা পালিশ চলছে।
Incredible urban disaster that Calcutta can be. Incredible urban disaster that Calcutta can be.
Oh, mama.
opulent dowager of Nizamuddin Lane was carrying on the very latest of Calcutta's clandestine professions, the sale of human embryos and fetuses. The mainsprings of the industry were a network of foreign buyers who scoured the Third World on behalf of international laboratories and institutes for genetic research. The majority of these buyers were Swiss or American. They used the embryos and fetuses either for scientific work or in the manufacture of rejuvenating products for a clientele of privileged people in specialized establishments in Europe and America.
When Le Père called a leper colony in Howrah City of Joy, West Bengal government, the mayor, everyone renamed Calcutta City of Joy. They hadn't read the book, they didn't know what the reference was. But Ekjon Sahib City of Joy boleche, therefore it has to be a tremendous tribute to the city.
Many Calcuttans call this city City of Joy. Obviously they haven't read it. Even if they have read it, they probably don't understand it. And I find it extremely sad that Bengalis, who are very twisted and very convoluted in their thoughts in many ways, they can't even understand a simple irony that City of Joy actually means City of Shade. Lapierre is actually almost like another Latter-day Muggeridge, because he firmly believes, he's a very strong Catholic, and he firmly believes that, like Muggeridge, he believes that the charity should flow from white Catholics to the bottom.
মাতৃন্নমস্যে দিবিজে চ মূর্তা সদা ভুজক কাম্য ফলাবিসন্ধৌ প্রদানশক্তা সকলেপ্সিতানাং বিমুক্তিদাজে জেনভি সংহিতেষু। আমাদের হিন্দু মাইথোলজি বলে মায়ের মধ্যে সর্বদেবদেবীর অবস্থান, তাই তাকে নিত্য পূজা বন্দনা করা উচিত। তেমনি ছিলেন আমাদের মহান মাদার। মাদার ছিলেন উইথ দ্য পিপল, ফর দ্য পিপল, ফর এভার। সো আই ট্রাস্ট হি বিলংস উইথ আস ফর এভার অ্যাজ পার Hindu mythology says it. Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
This is the place to be. This is where I started. This is where I grew. This is where I made my debut. I'm going away for business.
She's a greater businessman than any other businessman, no matter how big he is.
I started up small and simple. Look where I'm today. Everybody bending backwards. It's had all the way. I'm going up for business. Looking the nighttime flag.
Poorest of the poor.
It is poor and it is dirty and it is old and it is crumbling. But with mother in the city, these elements is not something to be ashamed about.
I received this book from Spain. If translated into English, would mean that a season in Calcutta. This artist who came to Calcutta, he found nothing else in this city except lepers and half-dead people, and who are being rescued from all kinds of places and being treated by Mother Teresa and given life to them.
The city, dirty city, all the dust and filth and hunger and disease.
The poor are seen as are abstract entities. They're not. They're often not seen as human beings with faults and good points and with wives and children and lives to lead. They were seen as entities, and they were kind of a religious symbol, a kind of an extension of Jesus, who could be used to further her own agenda in the world, which I believe is perverted and warped.
There is definitely something in the post-colonial psyche in which promotion of poverty, illustration of poverty in parts of the third world, and to use that as a justification for Western do-gooding, well, that's definitely a part of the way the West looks at it. But I tell you something, if there's problem poverty here, it's for us to solve it. It's for economists, it's for people like Manmohan Singh to handle it. It's not a business that Mother Teresa, it's not something that Mother Teresa can handle. She can offer a solution for 200 people, 300 people. So she is not the solution for this country. Let's get that clear once and for all.
She actually projected Calcutta's poverty much more than it should have. But then that brought in all the bucks, and all her homes expanded like that.
Where has all the money gone? Long time passing. Where has all the money gone? Coming over the years. Where has all the money gone? Long time passing. Where has all the money gone? Coming over the years. Tycoon and the mighty, contributing to the franchising. Tycoon and the mighty.
When people all over the world donate money to Mother Teresa, they obviously think that the money would go into charity. Little do they know that the money is spent largely on missionary, on religious activities, for the training of nuns and brothers and novices, etc., etc.
Tycoon and the mighty, contributing to the franchising. Tycoon and the mighty, contributing to the franchising. Not a question asked, it's all for the
Almighty,
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 Almighty.
This is the most undemocratic setup ever. You do not know. You know something about religious society, religious organizations. Who knows? You cannot enter into the details of Jama Masjid or Ramakrishna Mission hierarchy, but you know something about that. You know something about that. This is the process, good or bad. But about this thing, Teresa's organization, you don't know anything. And you know, a few years back there was a tremendous tussle, and it was almost like a corporate battle, a battle of war, battle of words, media war, and everything.
It's difficult to match, to come up to Mother's aura, but I'm sure it will be very good.
All from the BBC you want to.
Oh, hello. Yes. Election of the Superior General was conducted according to the rules of the MC Constitution. Sister Nirmala MC was chosen almost unanimously as the new Superior General. Mother Teresa was present for the election and blessed Sister Nirmala. She was born in India and she has a Nepalese background. One of her parents, I think, is Nepalese, and also I think that she's a Brahmin.
I was a Hindu, and then I felt the call and I received baptism, and after a month after that I joined here.
The voting for the 4 councillors will now take place.
Frederick, that's me, first councillor. Second councillor is Sister Priscilla. The third councillor is Sister Lisa. And the fourth councillor is Sister Martin de Porres.
She not only manipulated the media, she manipulated an awful lot of minds. And that's where the deconstruction of the image or the myth of Mother Teresa is now so important.
এই একটা চাবি রিং, এটা সকলের জন্য মানে খুব মিনিমাম প্রাইসের মধ্যে, এটা খুলে এটাকে লকেট হিসাবেও ইউজ করতে পারছি। এইগুলো মোটামুটি সব শ্রেণীর লোকেরাই কিনতে পারে। এই একটা চাবি রিংস আছে দেখুন, হ্যাঁ, এটা একটা টিভির মডেলেতে ফটো ফ্রেম আছে। এটা কার্ডটা কোনো ধরুন বিজনেস পারপাসে তো কোনো জায়গায় যাচ্ছেন, তখন কি হচ্ছে কার্ডটা নিয়ে দেওয়ার আগে মাদারের ফেসটা দেখে দেওয়া হচ্ছে তাকে। এই একটা পেন স্ট্যান্ড, যেমন এগুলো ফরেনাররা এসে ম্যাক্সিমাম নিয়ে যায়। এটা একটা উডেন ফ্রেম আছে, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, দেখা যাচ্ছে তো এটা।
उस इंसान का लाइफ जीवन को बर्बाद भी करता, आप बोलेंगे वो कैसे?
बात वाला तेल लाया, अब भैया दोनों पर मंगनी में चला जाएगा तो बुढ़िया कैसा 10 रुपया दे बच्चा।
2 रुपया हम लोग का तरफ से जादू मंत्र वाला आएगा उसको देना।
Gratitude and token of our appreciation. Small.
সাদা শাড়ি নীল পাড় দেখেছি অনেকবার স্কুল কলেজ অফিস যাওয়ার পথে।
She glorified death.
And over 50,000 have died. Most beautiful death.
She had very little to say about life and its sustenance, how life can be beautiful. On the other hand, she said how death can be beautiful.
Most beautiful death. Most beautiful death. Most beautiful death. Most beautiful death.
খুবই ভালো লাগছে।
Whenever somebody died in her home, she whispered Jesus Christ's name in his or in her ears. Mother Teresa once told me point blank that, look, I am a Catholic and I know only one religion, and that is Catholicism. Beyond that, nothing is acceptable.
If you pinned her down as a journalist, she would say, "Oh well, it doesn't matter to me. I make a Hindu a better Hindu. I make a Muslim a better Muslim, I make a Christian a better Christian, it's all the same, etc., etc. I wish she had the courage to come out and say that, look, my agenda, my brief is to, make people see Jesus, make people realize that the goodness of Catholicism. And I would like to have more Catholics in this country. That would have been more honest of her, rather than giving us all this bullshit.
You wouldn't have Mother Teresa in a Muslim world. Never.
Why?
You wouldn't have. There's more poverty in Bangladesh than in Calcutta or Dhaka, but you wouldn't have Mother Teresa in Mairadibo.
To project a city or a place in bad light, to get in money, spend something from them, and go on to win Nobel Prize. You become Nobel laureate. It's perfect cheating, nothing else. You don't talk anything bad about a Nobel laureate without going into details. How did she get it?
If you look at during the Cold War, the sort of people the Nobel Prize is given to, I wouldn't say that Mother Teresa was a tremendously bad choice. What I would like to point out to especially Indians who think that Nobel Prize is given to the purer of the pure, it was not the case until the Cold War was there, until 1985-89, that sort of time. I wish to point out that Kissinger, who was one of the biggest mass killers of history, he got the Nobel Peace Prize. George Marshall, who headed the biggest army in history, got the Nobel Peace Prize. The president of South Korea got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2000, actually, the Millennium Prize, and nobody actually knows what he did except to fight North Korea, a communist country. Dag Hammarskjöld, who was very likely a CIA agent, he was a UN Secretary General, he got the only posthumous prize. Gandhi was refused the Nobel Prize 5 times, although he was nominated 5 times, he never got it.
Making a statement like that appears a lack of compassion. It seemed to imply that people just get these things done like that. And she should have known that in the majority of cases, it's an agonizing problem. And people just don't have an abortion as they have their haircut.
She, was destructive in the sense that if you force women not to practice contraception, if you force women to have children when they had been raped, if you force women to stay in a violent marriage when they're because she was extremely anti-divorce, these are kind of tortures and these are kind of oppressions.
Today is a very auspicious day. Mother Teresa statue will be inaugurated in Park Street after a long time. Lot of important VIPs are coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here to this embodiment of love, the Blessed Teresa of Kolkata. To all of us, she is already ordained as a saint of the poor, a saint of the gutters. We gather here to rename Park Street as Mother Teresa Sarani.
I've been to various celebrations and anniversaries at Mother House over the years. I've never seen a poor. Whenever there is anything to do with Mother Teresa, not only the poorest of the poor, even the marginally poor never attend. I was told that I wasn't there in the statue inauguration. I was told that there was hardly any poor or no poor at the statue ceremony.
Mother is mother. There is no alternative of mother.
poorest of the poor of Calcutta benefited by the help and support of the woman we are honoring today.
We only find beautiful connection between the two. KMC, তার মানে Kolkata Municipal Corporation, আর KMC মানে Kolkata Missionaries of Charity.
মাদার তেরেসার নামে পার্ক স্ট্রিট নামকরণ করে মাদার তেরেসাকে আমরা ধন্য করলাম না, আমরা কলকাতার 1 কোটি মানুষ ধন্য হলাম।
But for people in India, she has always been saint to us.
Those who are in charge of, say, municipal corporations or government departments and all that, they always try to play to the gallery. And if they find the gallery is more or less bovinized, then they also try to come out with proposals, projects like that. And they know that somehow, rightly or wrongly, Mother Teresa has been accepted as a sort of holy image. So if you do something in honor of Mother Teresa, whether erecting a statue or naming a road and all that, that will be very helpful to them from the political angle. That will earn more votes for them. So I do not blame them very much, because they are formulating their policy on the basis of the image of Mother Teresa existing at that particular point of time.
Mother Teresa, I love Mother Teresa. I'm especially here in this place in Kolkata for Mother Teresa, because it's a very famous Mother Teresa also in the west side, I think in the whole world. And all people, they come to India, they must visit Kolkata, especially for Mother Teresa.
And a woman, a white woman, a Christian woman, who is extremely good, extremely pure, and extremely giving. So it's a very nice paradigm. It's a fairy tale paradigm that anybody, it's not only the West, I think anybody would want to believe this to be true. And why would they want to find out? I mean, it is our duty, it's your duty to go and tell them, look, this is not the case. It is not in the West's interest, or you know, to find out about this. This stereotype it's good to maintain. It's comfortable. It's a comfortable stereotype to maintain and keep. So it is in the interest of Bengalis, Calcuttans, Indians to protest against the stereotype. And what do we do? We erect a statue of that woman who molested us for 5 decades. I mean, as I always say, this is like erecting a statue of Hitler in Israel, or building a memorial to the atomic bomb, you know, in Hiroshima. I'm sorry, it is shameful.
Thank God
Now this film ends, people geared to boo. What a sick film. Now it's up to you. Is thinking aloud? We thought it was. But when we thought aloud, our thinking had flaws. Imagine our goal demystifying a saint, and that's not all. Cause you just can't do it. You just can't do it cause a white saint saved us all. Thank God.
I've seen this film, Thinking Aloud. It is a bad, stupid film. Why should you show this film? How can you do it? I dislike this film. Don't you have any respect for this woman? You can't do it.